In recent years, I've heard a lot of people saying that Zombies doesn't feel like Zombies anymore, and to be honest, I agree. Zombies has lost its, for the lack of a better word, aura, and in this video I want to dive into one of the most underrated aspects of Call of Duty Zombies, the music and its ambience. From the very beginning of the Zombies experience with the Damned soundtrack, through to each map's loading screen track and round change music, the soundscapes of these maps don't just set the mood, they define the experience. And with that in mind, I think a great first map to talk about to set the tone here would be when Black Ops 2 went to Alcatraz Island for Mob of the Dead. This is the first thing you hear with the loading screen music, and it immediately lets you know what you're in for. But above that, what Mob of the Dead does better than most maps is letting you know constantly that you're in 1930s prison despair with different soundtracks for each different area you discover within the map. Revolution Gamer does a great job of compiling all the soundtracks from each map into playlists. As if those soundtracks weren't enough, the round change music is a literal jail cell slamming shut which ramps up the tension between rounds. And not to mention, Where Are We Going is not only a fitting game over song, but also one of the better Easter egg songs in the series. And most importantly, it makes Mob of the Dead an encapsulating experience rather than just another Zombies map. And looking wider, Black Ops 2 has a great showcase of these kind of maps. That brings us on to Buried, where immediately the loading screen music makes us feel like we're stepping into a western, which surely enough we are. And much like its predecessor Mob of the Dead, its background music and ambience make you feel like you're in that western the entire time. The round change music feels like an Easter egg song in itself. It's a slow burn and it's got that perfect old-timey feel that fits the map's aesthetic, and it's impossible for me to talk about Buried without talking about the two Easter egg songs it has, as this map's got Rusty Cage by Johnny Cash and Always Running by Kevin Sherwood and Maluka, which is personally one of my favourite Easter egg songs in the Zombies series. Overall, the music matters so much to Buried as it's the glue that holds this eerie, wonderful map together. From the intro music through to its Easter egg songs, they amplify the story of being stuck in this cursed, time-twisted place. The music gives Buried its soul, making it more than just another Zombies map. And the maps that followed these continue to use that same formula and created almost a golden age of Zombies maps. For me, I feel it reached its peak at Shadows of Evil. I could sit and talk all day about the new gameplay features. Being the first map for the new game itself, it really created a buzz around the map, but you can't help but notice the music that really accompanied it and made it that experience that we know it as now. But unfortunately, in the years that followed that, we sort of lost that formula that made these Zombies maps so good, and they started to work towards a new modernized version of Zombies. For example, with 9, you can see the attempt was there with the crowd sort of chanting between rounds, but it almost feels like I've just completed a quest in Skyrim rather than actually progressed around in Zombies. And it's pretty easy to say this knowing the full gameplay package that we got in the end, but just music wise, as this is the topic of the video, it does just look like they put a lot less effort into these newer games. Of course, we've got to cut the studio some slack as we know about the constraints in recent times, but we can see evidence of what seems like less effort if we go back to Revolution Gamer's playlists. We can see that the number of soundtracks and songs are a lot higher in the games like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 compared to those like Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 6. But it really reaches its all-time low in Vanguard with Durham Fang and Terra Maledicta, with neither map actually featuring a proper Easter egg song, and the Archon also only has an instrumental track for its Easter egg song, although it is pretty easy to judge Vanguard aside from just its music aspect. But to be fair to them, I feel like they've made a much better effort at incorporating this back into Black Ops 6. For example, I didn't mind the Terminus song. It does make you feel like you're stranded on an island and trying to find an escape, as much as the lyrics do kind of carry that feeling. And as a song, I do quite enjoy Destroy Something Beautiful, which is the other track for Terminus, but it doesn't didn't really make me feel anything different about the map. And then Citadel, Daymore and Tomb just went full heavy metal for their songs, which I don't have a problem with. Again, I don't mind them as songs, but they don't really make me feel like I'm in the map, or they don't add anything to it as such. And previously, they've even gone as far as licensing in some tracks for maps. For example, Won't Back Down by Eminem featuring Pink was used as an Easter egg song in 5. Several Avenged Sevenfold songs have been used, but we'll talk about probably the most popular one in a minute. Ace of Spades by Motorhead was infamously used during the intro cutscene to Gorod Krovi. Infinite Warfare used tons of licensed tracks, for example you've got Tainted Love in Zombies in Spaceland, and even most recently we will meet again in the Liberty Falls cinematic cutscene in Black Ops 6, which personally I've got no problem with. I feel like it's more recognisable and could be good, but it's important that the right tracks are selected and they fit the map. For example, a map that I think did this really well was Origins with Shepherd of Fire. Aside from the fact that it is just a great song anyway, it's something that I always took away after playing Origins, and it would bring me back to play even more just to hear the Easter egg song. And also just that intro cutscene alone is something I think I'll remember forever. It lets you know immediately what you're about to get yourself into, and the backing track of Shepherd of Fire was just a perfect match. But they also tried it in Black Ops Cold War for Mauer Toten with Amoeba. This didn't really land for me personally. I actually just remembered it as that one song I'd heard a billion times in GTA while racing, and overall it just didn't really fit the map's vibe. So I think it's safe to say that Easter egg songs, and in general just the background music and ambience, are the heartbeat of Call of Duty Zombies. It's not just music, it's a vibe, a reward, a piece of the story. And we've seen music make or break maps because it just fails to make it an experience. Some of my favourite Zombies maps like Buried, Origins and Derice, they're blessed with songs like Always Running, Shepherd of Fire, Beauty of Annihilation. These songs aren't just background noise, they're part of what makes these maps legendary, and they amplify the atmosphere, tie into the story. Not to mention the own personal ambience that each map has that drives its own identity. Maps like Moon, Mob of the Dead and again Buried, they're all such successful and rememberable maps because they all have their own aesthetics. As important and as good as the gameplay is by itself, the music is what brings it all together to deliver you an amazing experience. Where easily forgettable maps in Vanguard like the Archon, Duran Fang and Terra Maledicta, where they don't have any Easter egg song at all and really no ambience, you don't remember these maps. You may as well go into the game on mute, put your own playlist on and try and get some enjoyment out of the game at least. And in fact, that's what I'm going to go and do right now. So while I'm doing that, go drop a comment and let me know what your favourite Easter egg songs of all time are. Why not? And while you're on your way down there, you may as well drop a like and subscribe. This is a new style of content for me, so hit that bell if you want more like it. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.